This is the Mercedes G63 AMG, a car that's popular amongst NFL stars as well as your average LA soccer mom. The G-Wagon definitely makes a statement. Originally, it was produced out of the suggestion of an Iranian monarch in 1979. That was a military vehicle, and now, of course, you can get them for the road. But why is it so damn expensive? Well, to start things off, the G-Wagon is made of galvanized steel, and it is not spot welded like traditional automobile manufacturing. It is done 100% by hand, and the build quality absolutely shows. When you close the door, it sounds like you're shutting the safe to a vault full of a bunch of illegal drug money. And that is satisfying. The G-Wagon is of course all-wheel drive, but it also has 3 independent locking differentials in the front, the middle, and the rear. Now, a normal open differential allows the outside wheel and the inside wheel to spin at different rates. Let's say you're going around a turn, the outside wheel has to travel farther and thus must spin faster. If they traveled at the same rate, you'd have a problem. But when you're off-roading, that's not necessarily a good thing. Imagine a scenario where one of the wheels is on pavement and the other is slipping in mud. If they're allowed to spin at different rates, chances are the one on the pavement isn't going to move at all, and the wheel in the mud is going to spin, and the G-Wagon isn't going to go anywhere. But with the locking differential, they're able to spin at the exact same speed. You're able to get traction and get out of any situation. Chances are the only situation you'll need to get out of is the shopping mall. But just in case you do want to take your G-Wagon off-road, it is very capable. Of course, this is not just a brute force machine, it's incredibly opulent in the interior as well. And of course, that helps bringing the base price up and up. You've got beautiful quilted leather seats. I love the way the two-tone looks. Everything is draped in leather. The emergency brake, the shifter with the Falterbach logo on it. You've got a heated steering wheel, heated and cooled seats, a command screen with an incredibly nice backup camera. You've got a Harman Kardon speaker system. The dash is leather, even a handle for passengers to hold on for dear life when you have no idea what you're doing on the off-road, but you think, hey, I bought a $150,000 G-Wagon, might as well try. That is draped in leather as well. If you want to go absolutely crazy, for $20,000, the Performance Studio package brings you 20-inch AMG wheels, Napa leather interior, and a range of color options that will absolutely blow your mind. How does alien green sound? Well, pretty weird, but it actually looks kind of cool. This is not a Jeep with a higher price tag. Amenities that come standard on other higher-end Mercedes are of course fitted on the G63. You've got park assist. This thing can park itself. You've got Distronic Plus. The car can drive itself within the lanes on the freeway. Adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring. This is a full-on luxury SUV that happens to look like a refrigerator and cost a lot of money. But for that, I kind of dig it. The pricing structure is a bit ridiculous with the G-Wagon. If you want the peasant model, the G550, it starts at a lowly $122,000. A base price of an SUV of $122 grand, that is incredibly expensive. Now, however, you've got things like Rolls-Royce coming out with a new SUV, the Bentley Bentayga, so that price is rising up and up, and it's no longer out of the norm. But still, $122,000 for an absolutely stripped-down base G550, that is a lot of cash. Step up to the G63, you get a better engine, 5.5-liter twin-turbocharged V8, making 563 horsepower and 561 pound-feet of torque. The crazy part is, despite weighing 5,700 pounds, this car is almost entirely made out of steel, it can do 60 miles an hour in under 5 seconds. That's pretty incredible. If you want to spend the most ridiculous amount of money possible, opt for the G65. It's got a bi-turbo V12 that makes 738 pound-feet of torque. It also starts at $220,000. Holy crap. Of course, when you compare it to the $800,000 6x6, which, what do you really get? An extra set of wheels and a larger car? I guess this is somewhat of a bargain. But for normal people, myself included, this is absurdly expensive. Why would you buy a G-Wagon? Well, that's a question that you can probably ask almost every housewife in Los Angeles. Most likely it's because it looks really, really cool, and you have so much money to blow, you might as well get it. People buy these cars as a status symbol because of the way it looks and because of the price tag, not so much how capable it actually is. And that's a bit sad. It was based off a military vehicle. There's 3 locking differentials that most users don't even know what these buttons do on the car and probably will press them at the wrong time. Luckily, we've got this giant annoying yellow sticker that says, do not activate the locking differentials while you're on pavement. That sounds like a challenge that I would like to accept, but maybe not on somebody else's car. Yup, that's fast. The G-Wagon is really, really fast. It feels a bit all over the place though, because it is so tall and so narrow at the same time. But I guess that is part of its charm. It's a $154,000 charm. Mercedes is able to do a magical thing with their V8 engines, turning just a number of cylinders into a noise that sounds like Jesus riding a Harley Davidson into a garbage disposal. I have no idea what that means, but it seems pretty adequate in describing the burbly exhaust that shoots out of both sides of the G-Wagon. If you haven't seen this, make sure to type in flame-throwing G-Wagon. I don't know who made the video, but G-Wagons can shoot absolutely ridiculous flames out the side, and that's pretty much the only thing that can make this car more badass than it already is. The interior doesn't just look cool, it takes a ridiculous amount of time to create. There's over 45,000 stitches in the interior. That's over a half mile of stitching. And somebody has to look over every single stitch with their own eyes, not a computer, to make sure that the quality is up to par with a Mercedes AMG. That sounds like a horrible job. The G-Wagon is ridiculously over the top. It's unnecessary, it's unnecessarily powerful, it's unnecessarily expensive, and it's unnecessarily capable on the off-road for everyone who buys this just to go to the grocery store. The G-Wagon is one of the most unique vehicles on the road. The driving position is like nothing else. You feel invincible, and you also feel like you're driving a giant middle finger that just happens to be shaped like a box down the road. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Special thanks to Grand Blanc Motorcars in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Special thanks to TJ most specifically for hooking us up with the G-Wagon. It's available there now. Look forward to seeing you next video.